I'm Allie Jackson, and I have launched and confirmed several Trova trips. But when I asked my travelers the number one reason why they didn't book a trip with me, I got one of two things back overwhelmingly. One, they couldn't fit that length of trip into their PTO or into their calendar that they already had for that year. Or two, that they just didn't have it in their budget. And then also as a host, I wanted to take more trips than my schedule would really allow. I wanted to be able to reach more of my community, to bring more of them on trips with me. And TrovaTrip mini trips have allowed me to do just that. Mini trips are shortened versions of tried and true Trova trips. They're 4 days, 3 nights. I've been marketing them as long weekend getaways, but you could also do them in the middle of the week if you have travelers that maybe don't want to take a weekend to do one of these trips. And it's an amazing way that TrovaTrip has created to allow hosts to connect with even more of their community, make some money while traveling, but not overextend their schedules. I heard from travelers who have really limited PTO or really inflexible PTO, travelers who have jobs like teaching where they can really only travel when the kids are on break, or travelers who need pet or child care for these trips and just can't commit to a whole week. Not to mention shorter trips are less expensive, and these itineraries are really value packed with so much more per day than your typical Trova trip. You can offer your community a more affordable experience and more bang for their buck with more activities per day and more meals included. Not only is the timing and the budget more accessible for people, but there are also a lot of travelers that are just nervous to book a week plus long trip with a group of strangers. Mini trips are an awesome gateway into your travel experience for your community. They'll book a mini trip with you, they'll have a great time, and then they'll feel more comfortable coming on a week-long trip with you. When I announced my long weekend getaway to Mexico City, my community went bananas. Not only are the destinations for these itineraries top-notch, like who doesn't want to go to Mexico City? In the launch messaging for my trip, I specifically mentioned that I was looking to make shorter, more accessible trips, and people loved that. As I was leading up to my launch, I consistently messaged how excited I was for this shorter trip, that it was going to be a long weekend getaway, and the response was incredible. It sold out in 3 days. I'm already thinking about which mini trips I want to do next to supplement the longer trips I have planned. I'm also considering doing a longer trip and a mini trip back to back in the same place to really maximize my travel. Who knows, maybe some people will want to come for the whole thing. It's also great that you don't have to plan them so far in advance because they are shorter and less expensive, so people need less time to plan, less time to budget, less time to set away for payment plans. So even if you think you have your year booked up with Trova trips, check out these mini trip itineraries. You might just surprise yourself and your community.